everyone tuning in to Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Bear with me. I'm still recovering from my small little cold / flu shot symptoms / I'm not being able to breathe properly, really. Inhalers in my pocket. Hopefully I can kind of get through this review without having coughing attack, which has just been my life these last 2 days, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We are here. So we are going to be reviewing The Last Vampire today by Romina Garber. I do want to say I did have the privilege of meeting Romina. She did a signing at my local Barnes & Noble. She is honestly the sweetest person, and I have been a fan of hers since the Zodiac series, which, for the record, is so underappreciated. So underappreciated and so underhyped. And it needs more recognition, and I need it to be like a limited series. Like, 4-season limited series, please. A book for each season. But that's neither here nor there. This one is a huge step away from that one, which was very much sci-fi. This one is urban paranormal fantasy, basically. And I really liked it. I liked how different it was. I liked that we have these two characters. We have Lorena and we have William. First of all, William's he's such a Mr. Darcy. He really, truly is. And that's the vibe the author was going for. That is the vibe that Romina was going for with storytelling. Because Lorena, our main character, she loves everything Jane Austen. You know, her best friend Selma is more of the Dracula, Frankenstein kind of vibe. You know, she does have that Wednesday Addams aesthetic that they do reference a lot in the book. See? Breathing. Problem. Lots of tea. But I do think he is quite unlikable in the beginning. I was not a fan of William. Like, I got the vibe, and I understood the vibe that we were going for. I just didn't like him personally. But of course, I don't think you're supposed to. Just like with Mr. Darcy, you don't really like them in the beginning. But then you realize, oh no, they are the good guy. Especially as he starts bonding with Lorena and makes his way into this new school, and they talk and they get to know each other, and you get to know each of these characters, especially Lorena. You feel bad for her. Her mother was a momfluencer, and she was caught in a pose holding a beer. She was holding a bong and a beer, and it wasn't even her. She just went to go rescue her friend who was mourning the death of her mother, because Salma, her friend, has an autoimmune disease. Her mother died from her autoimmune disease. That really just wasted her away, you know? So it was a lot of character development that went into this book. And with William, he has to rectify, he thinks he's the last vampire. History as he knows it has been rewritten by humans. And he's like, what? So he thinks he's the last vampire, and then comes to find out, no, he's not the last vampire. But the vampires have kind of strayed away from the path that he thinks they should be following. It is a little slow at times, but then there are times where it gets very steamy. Ooh. And I liked the maturity that went into this book, because these are, let's be real, they're seniors in college, in high school. We know what seniors are doing. Let's just be realistic about it, you know? So, they're adults. Or, they're almost adults. Well, William's an adult. I mean, he's been 17 for quite 100 years. So, for a very long time. How long have you been 17? A while. If you know, you know. So I do like the banter that goes on between them as well. They banter a lot. They're very confrontational, and they like to challenge each other, and I think that that's really interesting, because I think it adds to their dynamic, and I think it does enrich their dynamic overall. I think it's really, really fun to watch them banter, especially when they're in the classroom setting and they're bantering with one another. You're just like, the teacher at times has to be like, okay, pause, let's stop here. They do banter with one another, but there's a lot of depth and emotion to their characters. And then you also have her having to contend with her, she has to contend with her friend Selma, losing her aunt, so to speak, and sorry, I apologize for all the coughing, but she loses Selma's mother, who's basically like a second mother to her. She has to rectify with this idea that her mother thinks of her, this reputation she's kind of garnered. You know, the internet sees all, but the internet doesn't always know all. A picture can say 1,000 words, except all she was doing was taking it out of her friend's hands, and then, what do you know? She got snapshot. And that completely, like, ruined her mom's career, because her mom's like, oh yeah, I'm the greatest momfluencer in the world. And now people can't even take her seriously because her daughter was caught in a situation. Even though the situation was really just her going to rescue her friend from a party, it still speaks to, like, oh, your daughter's not perfect. Why do you think you can be telling us how to raise our kids when you don't even know how to raise your own kid? So her mother also is very overbearing. So she has to break away from this mold. This, I have to be perfect all the damn time. And boy, did I find that relatable. Hispanic moms. God, I hope I do better. But she is trying to really find herself. And everyone has this different idea of who she is. And she's like, you don't actually know me. And she realizes, like, I don't really know myself all the time. Because I'm too busy trying to fit this mold, you know? So there is a lot of character development. There's a lot of emotion. I do like that for William as well. There's lots of character development too. He goes from, again, he follows that trademark Austen style. Like, he goes from being unlikable, but then you realize, oh no, he's the good guy. He's the hero. He's the one we want to swoon over. And you do swoon over him. It's just like, it's swoon worthy, honestly. And those steamy scenes, they are a little mature, but they're still, you know, they're teenagers. You know, it's no different than what we watch on TV, honestly. And it's not explicit. Let me just preface that. It's not explicit, but it is steamy. They are high tension scenes when they realize they're falling in love with each other, you know? So those scenes get hot and steamy, and they're just like, whoo, they make your heart flutter. But they're swoon worthy too. They very much fit that mold of being swoon worthy. And they are captivating. You know, you are emotionally invested in their dynamic and the relationship and the way their characters are going to evolve and how they're going to evolve with each other, you know? So it was a really, really good book. I do highly recommend it. There are little times where it's a little slow, but I do love that characterization. I love the atmosphere that's going on in this abandoned castle turned boarding school. I love the vampire lore that goes into this book as well. I love how the connection to Bram Stoker and Bram Stoker's Dracula and the legacy that he has left. So it is really engaging as a story. It's a little steamy sometimes. It's swoon worthy. It's very much, if you love Jane Austen, like, he's such a freaking Mr. Darcy. He really is William Pride. And Pride is such an accurate name for him. So on that note, thank you all for tuning in. I do highly recommend it. Do check it out. It is really interesting read, and it is swoon worthy. It is swoon worthy. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book and friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.